Girls Night In.
Hello, Sunflower.
Hey, Mama.
Hey, sweet cheeks. It's so good to see your little face this morning.
I know. It's been like a week since we've seen each other.
Listen, it's not funny. So last week, Elena and I and Aunt Lisa and her daughter Jamieson were at Defusky Island. Very sweet, wonderful, across the street neighbors had gifted us with their amazing house. And this is an island that's off the coast of Hilton Head. You have to take a ferry to get to it. There's no cars allowed. It is so serene, and we had a beautiful, wonderful time. Now, I was fine until about Sunday around 10 a.m. Elena and I were at the pool, and we knew we had to leave in like an hour to go get ready to leave the island. And I started getting like panicky attacky. And then...
Panicky attacky?
and then all hell broke loose when I had to actually get in the car and drive away from her. It was horrible.
We had joked about staying another day. Half joked, a little bit half serious, but then I remembered I had some things I had to do that Monday morning at work, so I was like, no, I cannot stay. And then when we went to say goodbye, there was a little bit of hyperventilating, and I was like, we can stay another day.
She says there was a little bit of hyperventilating. It was her mother draped over her, crying, going, I'm going to throw up. She was like, do we need to go back inside?
I thought you were having a hot flash. I was like, oh, do you want to go in the AC?
Oh, my God, honey. And that was nothing compared to what happened in the car after we pulled away.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm not kidding you. I was hysterical. You would have thought that my arm was cut off. And she was behind me in her car, so I could see her. And then when she had to go one way on an exit and I had to go the other, I went just terribly to pieces. And then every rest area, I started all over again. Every time that I made a turn onto a different highway, I started all over again. I literally was a disaster for 3 hours. I didn't listen to anything. I didn't talk to anyone. I cried for 3 hours straight. And what I have decided, Elena, is that it's not, for some reason, it's not when I drive you to the airport. It's when we've met somewhere and we're heading in opposite directions. For some reason, that is so much harder for me. I don't get it.
I feel like it's because it's like, well, if I just drove 20 minutes south, I'd be where she is. Like, now we're only 20 minutes apart. Now we're only 30 minutes apart. You know, like.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I agree.
100%. It was really, really, really bad. And I texted your dad when I got close to Lynchburg, and I said, I'm just warning you, I am not well. I'm like, I'm not okay. And he's like, uh-oh. Like, he didn't know what to do, the frozen in the headlights.
Yeah. It's been weird for me. Like, I obviously I was really sad. I really try hard not to let myself go there. And her mom and I talked about this because she's like, you'll understand when you're a mom. Obviously, I miss her, and it makes me really sad, but I have to, like, force myself to not get upset about it. But this whole rest of this week, I've been, like, edgy. And I feel like part of it is because I'm sad about our time ending, and it was such an amazing trip. And so, like, I'm just deep down sad about it, but I've been repressing it. So then it's just coming out where I've just been, like, edgy, and I've just been, like, a little isolated. I texted my girlfriends and I was like, hey, y'all, I'm so sorry I've not been responsive this week. There's a lot of other things going on in my life too right now that are a lot, so I've been stressed about that. But I feel like the trip ending just pushed me over the edge a little bit, and I've just been like isolating a little bit edgy. So I've been trying to rest this weekend and just really reset so I can be better next week. But it's been affecting me in interesting ways too.
It really is fascinating. So anyway, all that to say that while we were in Defusky, we decided to watch Freaky Friday. And especially with the reboot, the second one coming out. And so then we had a follow-up conversation, the four of us, Aunt Lisa, Jamieson, Elena, and I. And that's what you guys are going to get to hear.
Yes.
Yes. Now, just really quickly, before we head to that, I wanted to share a couple of things with Elena. First off, Luann, guess what? This is the largest discrepancy we've had on Rotten Tomatoes from critics to audience.
Ooh.
Critics came in at 88%. Audience, 58%.
Interesting.
Isn't that interesting?
Especially for a Disney movie. And I don't think it was a Disney Channel movie. I think it was in the theaters, but it kind of feels like a Disney Channel movie a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And you had shared with me that Jamie Lee Curtis got hired, and on IMDb it says 6 days before shooting started, Jamie Lee Curtis got hired. Annette Bening was supposed to be in it, and she pulled out, and Jamie Lee Curtis got put in at the last minute. And so...
and she carries this movie on her back.
Oh, you know what? I disagree with you.
You feel like Lindsay did a good job too? I mean, I think she did a good job too.
I got to tell you, I think Lindsay does a better job than Jamie Lee Curtis.
Okay.
I really do. You know what? And that's what the bad reviews from the audience were saying, was that that Lindsay Lohan carried off being older, but Jamie Lee Curtis struggled playing the teenager, that it was tropey. It was like, and now roll your eyes, and now do, like, that there wasn't any nuance into being actually Tess, that it was just being a bratty teenager.
Okay, being Anna.
Oh, sorry, being Anna.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you not, you don't agree with that at all?
I will say there was a part of me when I was watching it that I'm like, she's playing such a good teenager, but I was thinking, like, it's not exactly how Lindsay Lohan's character was before the switch. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, I wouldn't picture Lindsay Lohan like crowd surfing and stuff. Her character Anna, crowd surfing and being so extroverted. I feel like she was a little more introverted.
Mm-hmm.
So I will say, like, I didn't want to, like, think about it because I love Jamie Lee Curtis so much and I do love her performance. But there was that thought in the back of my mind that's like, it's not exactly how Anna was.
Yes, exactly. And speaking of Jamie Lee Curtis movies, if you guys have not seen True Lies, which is an older movie, and it's Jamie Lee Curtis and Arnold Schwarzenegger, it's a spy flick comedy-ish. She is hilarious in that role. And I mean, we all know she's a fabulous actress. I think it had to do with the fact that she was thrown into this so late, that it's not like she had time to kind of prep of what would Anna do? What would Anna's facial expression be like? How would she respond? You know, because she was thrown into this. Mm-hmm. So just a little.
Also, if you haven't seen Jamie Lee Curtis's like Vanity Fair career timeline, it's such a good one. So definitely check that out too. She talks about Freaky Friday on it too.
What is that?
Have you seen, it's on YouTube. It's a YouTube series by Vanity Fair where different actors will go through the timeline of their career and like talk about their different hit movies.
Get out.
Oh yeah, hers, Kathy Bates, is like so good. You should definitely check it out.
I love Kathy Bates.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, very cool. Oh, yeah. And by the way, the role of Anna was offered to that gal that we were just talking about from Ice Princess.
Oh, Michelle Trachtenberg?
Yes. And she had to back out. And that's how Lindsay Lohan ended up in it. But there were like a lot of other people. Kristen Bell auditioned for it.
I have heard like a ton of people auditioned for it. Same with Princess Diaries. A ton of like A-list girls auditioned for Princess Diaries, and then they ended up going with Anne Hathaway, and it was her first role ever.
It's interesting, and I think it's smart in that role in particular, because you want to root for her, knowing that she's the underdog instead of thinking, oh, she was already a princess. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I'm saying?
If it had been an A-list, it wouldn't have been believable of her being a nobody.
Yes.
Character.
And the makeover wouldn't have been as fun because we know what they look like glamorized.
Yes, exactly.
So that's interesting. Okay, I have one question for you that I wanted to ask you that popped in my mind before we turn over to our time with Aunt Lisa and Jamieson. And that is, if you had to choose a different mom besides me to Freaky Friday with and switch into, who would you choose?
Oh my gosh. How do I pick? There's so many good moms in this life. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to think. I mean, I would happily Freaky Friday with like any of your friends. Like Aunt Lisa, I would Freaky Friday with Aunt Julie. I feel like the one that is coming to my mind is Aunt Beth, because I don't know, I feel like her job is very, like, she has a very high power job, and her and I are very similar. Like, we both love to read, and we're both little liberal girlies, and so I feel like I would have fun maybe Freaky Fridaying with her.
I agree.
That's just who first popped in my head.
Yeah, I bet you would have a good time. You would have a good time.
Yeah, because I feel like me and her are very similar, interest-wise and stuff. But honestly, like any of your friends, I'd be happy because they're all amazing.
I know. It's true. I was thinking about that.
Do you have like one of my friends that you would want a Freaky Friday with?
Oh, let me see. You have such a good eclectic group of friends, baby. Maybe Sophie.
Be an actress for a day?
Like, only can I have her voice and do her little gigs in the evening?
Yeah, go to 54 Below.
That's
and do
exactly
a show.
right. But I would want her voice. I don't want to do it.
Well, you'd be in her body, so I'm sure you would have her voice.
So that's what I would want to do. Okay, well, I hope that you guys enjoyed this episode of our insights into Freaky Friday. And the new one will come out next year in 2025. So we'll look forward to that.
We'll definitely have to cover the new one and compare, even if it's just a little bonus episode.
All right, guys. And we'll see you when we see ya.
All right. Love y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
Anna, honey, wake up. Oh, I have had it. Hurry up.
What? I'm ready.
For the Coleman family, Mondays are manic.
Bye, honey. Make good choices.
Wednesdays are wild. And for Anna and Tess, there's never enough time to really understand each other.
What? Time's up. It's after 6.
But on Friday,
You think my life is perfect?
You couldn't last one day in my high school.
Cookie.
that's all about to change. Because things are going to get a little freaky.
Why am I in Anna's room? This isn't mine. Those aren't mine. That's definitely not mine.
Walt Disney Pictures presents
So you're in my body and I'm in your body. I'm old.
I beg your pardon.
Oh, I'm like the Crypt Keeper.
Freaky Friday.
Should we introduce our guests?
Girlfriend, tell everybody where we are and who we're with.
We are on Defusky Island via our amazing neighbors, Andrew and Wade, who let us stay in their
Shout
house.
out. That's right.
And we are here with our besties for life, Aunt Lisa and Jamieson.
Hi. Hello.
Yes.
So happy to be here.
Lisa, you guys met on our episode for Still Magnolias, but Sweet Jamieson was not on that episode, but she is here now.
Thank goodness.
That's right.
I needed my debut.
You got it all together. That means, eventually you get a t-shirt when I get my act together, because we decided that only people who were guests on the show get the Girls' Night In t-shirt.
wow.
So
Merch coming soon.
merch coming soon. That's exactly
Stay tuned.
right. So what did we watch, Lou? Give them a little heads up. We're going to do an intro before, aren't we?
Yeah, so we
Okay.
won't do the synopsis or anything like that. We'll just kind of jump right in.
Cool beans. All right. So what did we discuss?
So we decided to watch Freaky Friday last night, and we really wanted to focus on the mother-daughter relationship. It's about a mom and daughter switching bodies, and so got to have fun watching that last night. And I would love to hear everyone's just like initial thoughts. Like, it doesn't have to be super long, but just a brief favorite parts of the movie or something like that.
I don't know. Does somebody have their answer ready?
I would say, first of all, I feel like, I don't know when the movie came out, but I've seen this movie, I think, probably at least 20 times, and I love it, but it is funny watching it with this in mind, because I'm like, oh my gosh, their relationship is so much more dysfunctional than ours. But I still love the movie, and I think it's sweet how it kind of all comes together in a nice little bow in the end, and it like flips around. But we know my favorite part's the shopping part. The shopping
when
montage.
when she
just
changes her
She
look.
gets the piercing and they cut her hair and she's got all the bags and her phones are ringing. I don't know. I love it.
I like that. Why specifically? Just
It's just fun.
yeah, it's just fun
It's just
to
a
see a little
satisfying
makeover.
scene.
A little makeover.
I love the chemistry between Jamie Lee Curtis and Chad Michael Murray.
No.
It's like a little too good.
It is. It
But
really is.
I love it. I'm like,
Oh.
both of them are doing a great job.
Such a cutie,
And
too.
I'm wondering, like, were they actually crushing on each other a
a little
bit? Like,
cringy.
what's
It was
going
a
on
little
there?
cringe-worthy.
The
Uh-huh.
way they were looking at each other is
I
just
know.
a little too real. Like, how does like he go to date her daughter after that? Because the connection
true.
there.
That is very
Uh-huh.
weird.
Uh-huh.
It flips around very quickly too.
Yeah, it does.
For those that don't know, that's the love interest that the daughter has. But then he, without saying too much, he ends
Jake.
up having he's intrigued by the mom, but it's really the daughter. Anyway,
Yeah.
I don't want to give
The
away
personality of the daughter.
Yes,
Mhm.
but to see him with the mom's in the mom's body is just kind of weird. But anyway,
But their acting is so good. It's too
so good.
It is good.
I love the younger brother. Watching him realize, like, he's looking like, why is mom talking like
She's
that?
like-
Or why is my sister suddenly
Uh-huh.
paying attention to me and worried about me? And I don't know. His little facial expressions and everything are just kind of, and the grandpa, I think, are hilarious.
Oh, I do love that.
Yes, they're so funny.
So cute.
I actually like the mother and daughter from the restaurant.
Yes, that's
They
the mother
the
daughter.
ones who actually get that. Because I'm like, yeah, I could see that. That's a relationship that looks familiar, you know. And I think Jameson brought up a good point, which, you know, the relationship between Jamie Lee Curtis's character and Lindsay Lohan's character would be what people would call a stereotypical relationship of a teenage daughter and her mom. But that's so outside the norm of what the four of us have experienced that I'm curious. We didn't write this question down, but did anybody feel like uncomfortable watching that going, don't talk to your mom
Yeah.
that way? Or
Because I mean, she's like, I think she says you're ruining my life at least 3 or 4
Yes.
times.
Yes.
And it's like, okay.
And we even
Relax.
said that. We asked that during the movie. Like, did y'all ever feel? We looked at Laney and Jamie and we're like, did you ever feel that way about us? Like that we were ruining your life? And they both kind of
No.
said
And
no.
I mean, I don't think she said it in this movie, but when like people are like, I hate you, I'm like, I don't think
No, I don't think
that's like
ever,
a thing
unless you
teenagers say, but that's crazy.
remember. Yeah.
Uh-uh. All right. So we've made questions for each other. The moms got together and the daughters got together and came up with questions to ask each other. So daughters, why don't you go first?
Okay. We can go, and you guys might already have this question.
Okay. We didn't check with each other, so we don't know.
Yeah. So our first question is, if we could swap bodies for a day, is there a specific task or experience you would want us to do in your body to better understand your life or perspective?
That's good.
That's a really good one.
Yes, we did not
That
ask
was all
that
her.
question. Or we did not have that question.
Do you have an answer?
I don't. You go.
Okay. The task would be for you to go to work, but because I'm a teacher, but you kind of already have a really good handle on what I deal with because you've come and all that kind of stuff. But so if you were saying just what is something that I would want you to
That
to
you want
do,
us to
like a
see through
thing.
your eyes, like something
Being a parent, being a
That's
mom.
exactly what I said they would say.
Yeah, Jamie was like, they're gonna say being a mom.
Yeah, I would want you to know that feeling for a day, what it feels like to have that overwhelming, fiercely loyal, all-consuming love for your people.
That's good. Gosh, I don't know, Kira. That's tough. I mean, I would say definitely. My first thought is just to know what it feels like to have this unconditional love for your people. I don't know. Maybe just because of my more recent. Although I feel like Jamieson and I are so close, and she knows probably more than she wishes she knew about me at times. But
Same. Mm-hmm.
I would say you wish you did know.
No.
that.
know that
I know.
Elena knows more
Yeah.
than she probably wishes she did.
I mean,
yes.
which is a testament to our relationship that it's so close. But I would say, honestly, I have an answer for the other way around, like what I would want to experience in her role.
Say it.
Say your other way around.
I would want to just have a day in her life to understand her. She's so organized and so structured and so, and I feel like I used to be, but I've lost that as I've gotten older, probably because I have less people, to worry about. But I'm in awe of her, just what she does every day. Like, she's very task oriented, and as is Laney. And so I just kind of, I think it's easier for me to answer that than what I'd want. I don't know that I'd want you to have a day in the life of me. You'd be like, wow, this is boring.
Stop. No.
This was underwhelming.
That's funny because when you're saying that, I'm going, I want to do that. I want to work at Disney for a day and know what it's like to be Elena.
Yeah.
Is that what you would pick to do if you were in
100%
for a day? Just go to work.
Yeah, I would go to work.
Okay.
But see, like Lisa was saying about wanting to be organized, like James, I want to be motivated like you are.
Yes, that's so good.
Like,
It's funny though, because
inspired.
Y'all are motivated like we are.
I'm glad y'all think so.
No, you had a dream and you went until you got it. I don't have that kind of motivation. I'm like, I quit. That was enough. I quit.
But it's funny though, because in the movie they swap, but they're not each other's personalities.
You're right.
So they swap, and it's like, and they can't even can't imagine, like they can't grasp it, so they're acting like themselves in the other person's body.
Right.
Whereas we're like, we want to experience what the other
Having
person
each
does.
other's
Like we
brains.
almost want to like be them.
Yeah.
Not actually swap. Does that make
Well,
sense?
that kind of goes along with our first question.
Okay, and then you
Let's hear your first question.
Go for it, Kira.
Oh, Lisa, Michelle.
You have the glasses.
Oh, okay.
She might
What
not
do
be
you
able to read my
think?
writing.
What do you think would be the hardest part about being each one of us? Like, what would you find the most difficult to pull off?
Partners. Like having to like interact with a partner.
A boyfriend.
I feel like that's the same thing in the movie. Like that is
And
so
he goes to
uncomfortable.
kiss her, it's like, cold sore.
Cold sore.
I think that would be the hardest. Maybe, that was my quick answer, but.
Well, let's take that out of it because I think that's a natural reaction, which hopefully all four of us would feel.
Be. Although, yeah.
Anyway, so let's take that out of it.
Yeah.
Let's just say in our daily lives and take our love relationship out of it. Is there anything that you're like, yeah, I wouldn't want to do that? Not looking forward to that part.
Run your classroom.
Okay, that's
Good.
fair.
Very good.
Yeah, and I would say deal with some of the people you have to deal with. I'll just say it like that.
Yeah.
So we don't have to go into detail.
right. In case anybody ever hears it, that's very
So in both
diplomatic.
cases, it's
Yeah,
work.
whereas in both cases, y'all want to do.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's
Isn't that
exciting.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. Yeah, because you guys are.
Pursuing your dream.
Yeah, you really are.
What is y'all? Do y'all have an answer for that for us? What's the task that we have to do that y'all wouldn't want to do?
Like the mimicking what I'd have a hard time doing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to do.
First off, I even though now I can say, well, it's what your job is, search engine optimization and marketing, and I'm like, I still don't understand in a whit of what you actually do. I mean, like, I get it when you say it to me, but I would be like, this is, and never mind the fact that so much of it is technological, and I'm clueless.
So you would like want to, what you're saying is you'd want to be able to do that, and like if you were in her body, but that would be the hardest thing.
But not
because-
That's exactly right.
presenting something. You don't want to be there.
hesitation.
No. Just like with
She'd start crowd surfing in the
Something,
meeting like she does.
Yes.
What would be most intimidating for you to be Jamieson?
Oh gosh, most intimidating.
Like, would you be like, You could probably even pull off the physical therapy
Or take a test.
as a
or-
pass because of your nursing.
Just because of medical knowledge.
You could probably
but
throw some stuff out there that would sound like you knew what you were doing.
maybe fake it a little bit, but not nearly as good. I would say probably the hardest thing would be, or what would be the most intimidating for me would be Just her routine, just her
Schedule?
The schedule,
Yeah.
her
Wake up
schedule
so early.
is definitely intense at times between school and just how good you are with your fitness and taking care of meals and meal prepping and planning and organizing and Finley and you're such a good taskmaster. And again, I think I used to be like that when I had the three of y'all at home, but now I'm so not that person that I find that very intimidating.
You get a lot done in a day, Missy.
Do I?
You really do.
Productive.
Yeah, you're
You're
you get
very
it done without
productive.
having the stress of being like, oh, I have my list, whereas I'm over
Yes.
here like,
I don't know.
it's all written in front of me. I have to do it all.
I don't feel
You
like
just gotta do it.
I just do it. I just fake it, I guess.
Really
But-
good.
For anyone who doesn't know, which I'm pretty sure everyone does know because the people who listen to this are people who know and love us, but Jamieson is in school for physical therapy, and then Aunt Lisa is a fertility nurse.
Thank you, Lou.
Yeah, registered.
Yes.
All right, you girls, it's your turn.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, Jamie, you want to read the next one?
Sure. If you were teenagers again and swapped bodies with your moms, what would you do and why?
Is it back when the actual time
You would
when
be
they
a
were?
teenager, so.
However old they
However
were when
old.
you
So
were
if you want to say
teenagers.
she's, I think, 15 or 16 in the movie, and
Yeah.
I guess at that point maybe
So
a little
with
different
my
for
mom.
you.
What was the? What? I'm so sorry.
I'll
I
read
got
it again. I'll
yeah.
read it again. If you were teenagers again and swapped bodies with your moms, what would you do and why?
Oh, so we're teenagers again in the 80s,
Yes.
and now we've swapped bodies with.
With your mom.
Yes.
With Star and Debbie.
Yes.
What would I want to do?
Yeah. What would you do and why?
What would I do and why?
I have an answer, but I can't say it while we're recording, so I'll save that for later.
I have one too, and I can't say it while we're
I think I
recording.
know where this is going.
I would say probably focus more on my own. If I were my mom, just knowing my mom's stress level, intensity level, which is probably a lot of where Jamieson gets it from. But I would say I would want her to. Wait, I'm not sure if I'm answering this right. This is hard.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
I would want her to focus more on herself and take care of herself, her physical health more than what she did. She always put herself on the back burner for her kids. More her kids than her marriage, but her kids definitely, which I was the recipient of that. So at the time I thought, this is great. But looking back, I feel like she definitely added stress to herself trying to keep all these balls in the air.
So let me ask you then. So if it's only for a day, are you doing like a spa day in her body?
Maybe. Yeah, she never did anything frivolous for
Hamper.
herself. Yeah. And
Makeover.
that wasn't a thing back then. What's that?
I don't know,
No,
I'm just
it
saying
wasn't.
things.
Yeah.
You're
it was
right.
not. They didn't do pedicures, manicures, and massages. Like, the focus is now so much more on overall health, not
Yes.
just,
Yeah.
yeah. So I just feel like I would want to be her so that I could go focus on myself.
I think at the time, like if we're saying at that age, not my age now, that age, what I would have wanted to have done was do the makeover thing. I would have wanted to get her, not her necessarily her hair, maybe a little something different, but definitely
Go
a new
shopping.
wardrobe.
Yes.
You know, and just sass her up some. She was so conservative, and she had a cute little
She
figure.
did.
Oh, that's
When
such a good answer.
all the way through, until menopause. And I think
Yeah.
she could have just
Pulled
been
it
a little
off.
sack.
She
Yes.
could have.
Yeah,
So
she could
fun.
have.
But she
then you have
also
the
didn't splurge on
resources.
herself.
She did not splurge on herself.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in later years she
Yeah,
did.
but
But not when we were,
Teenagers.
not while we were home. The money went, nope.
okay. So this is our question. Another question for y'all. If you could choose an age you would want to swap with us,
That's
what
one of
age
ours.
would that be? Ooh, it is one of yours.
It is
Yeah.
the last one.
Okay, what age would that be?
That's okay. Go
I
ahead.
actually thought of one more too. For y'all.
Okay.
Okay, wait. So what age?
Would you want to
I
swap
have
with
an
us?
answer which is kind of like a crazy answer. Like
Yeah.
I feel like it's a chaotic answer. But I just feel like I've been having baby fever since we saw
Yes.
those babies. So I'd want to do it when you had all three babies.
Yes.
That was gonna be my answer.
Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna be like 30.
Yes.
And like when you guys have the little kids.
And they were,
Yeah.
for background, they spent every waking hour together, the two of them with the six of us.
Yes.
And so that would be Laney and I.
Yes.
We're swapping.
And y'all would just get to be babies and just vibe.
Just vibe.
And just
Well, and it was such a happy time. I mean, looking back, we probably made more stress out of it than it needed to be, but now I'm like, what I wouldn't do to go back to that time. So I love that y'all would want to mimic that because it was really fun times.
How many people get to
Simpler
do that?
times, much simpler, Little people, little problems. Big people, big problems.
What
That's such
age
a
would
good-
you guys want to swap with us?
So I would like to add on to that
Okay.
before we move on, because I think for context, Lise had four. We were just figuring this out today. She had 3 kids under the age of 3.5. Within 3.5 years, she had 3 children. Within 5 years, I had 3 kids. And so we had, between the two of us, we had 6 kids. We had so at the time that the youngest were born, we had a 5-year-old, a 4-year-old, a 3-year-old, and 2 newborns.
A 1.5-year-old and 2 newborns.
A 1.5-year-old and 2 newborns. And we did, like Jamieson said, we did everything together. And we would spend every day together. We had all 6 kids on the same nap schedule.
We ran a very
Tight ship, man.
but boy, was it great.
And it really was.
My favorite stories is when you guys would scrounge up change and take us to the Chesterfield Town Center Mall, and you pack lunch for us, and you guys would get something from the food court.
Yeah,
I think that's
We
so
packed
cute.
the kids peanut butter and jelly.
jelly sandwiches.
In
And
a
we would get,
lunchbox.
Arby's,
chicken
bacon Swiss, and that was that was what we would get for, and that was our treat, you know. And it really, like Lee said, I don't know if because we're all sharing one phone yet again. That's how we're recording. I don't know if you heard that, but somebody said to us, when you have little kids, you have little problems. When you have big kids, you have big problems. And so I think at the time we were so tired and overwhelmed, and Lise was a military wife, so her husband had been deployed, and she was doing this with these little babies. And
Kira's husband was helping with 2 wives and 6 kids, and
I think we were just so tired that we didn't realize. That's not true. We would sit there every once in a while and go, how lucky are we?
yeah, we were very mindful of it at the time. Not just now, but
to
at
be
the
together.
time.
And I think part of that was because Lisa lost her mom so young that we were focused on, look at these little people and we
Savoring
get to be
every
together.
moment.
Yes. Sorry. Anyway, I went off on a tangent. What was your question, Lovey?
It was the same question for y'all.
Yeah, was there
What-
an age we
what
were
age would
at
we
that
want?
you would want to swap?
Oh, what a great. Oh, let me think about
I know
this.
what yours is going to be.
Is it only for a day?
Only for
Just
a
like a
day.
movie.
I would say, only for a day. I would say it would be Jamieson in college.
I knew she was going to say that.
Yeah, like a football day, with your
Yes.
sorority and just all the fun. And I mean, I would be exhausted, of course, but I just think you had such a great college experience, and you went to a big school, so you had big football days, and so I would want a day that time.
That's what I would have picked for you.
So
Oh,
It's just
that's
so
so
fun.
cool.
It
You
is-
would have chosen
Just
that
because she,
for her.
I mean,
I lived vicariously
yeah,
through
and
you during
she's
that
always been so involved, so she always knew all my high school friends, and you knew my college friends. So when you came in for games, they all loved you, but I think you appreciated for me that I
Yes.
had that.
Oh my gosh,
You loved every
100%.
event that I had, anything sorority.
Yeah. I
Just
loved
you
it.
were oh my gosh, that's so fun.
Because I didn't have that. I went to a small,
Yeah.
all girls school, and obviously didn't have a football program. But so for me to live a day during your college career on a football Saturday would be
so fun.
perfection. Even though I feel like I was there, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
I wasn't you. I was just on the periphery.
Living in our nasty
Gross apartment.
apartment.
Yeah, I
in
would
New
not
York,
want to live like
Center
that. I would forfeit that Center Street in Blacksburg, Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
But 505 Center Street. Shout out.
Oh gosh. It's probably condemned now. I'm just kidding.
Oh, God. Oh, my
I'm
gosh.
kidding.
I'm having a hard time between two, but
Okay.
I think
Oh, I think I know one.
her, when Elena did traditions, at Disney, and that's the training program, the couple of days of training you have to go in before you become a cast member, just because I know how excited she was, and to experience that from her point of view would have been really surreal, I think, because when I went, it wasn't, I didn't have any frame of reference. I didn't have, like, no one had ever, I'd never been to Disney. I didn't know what to expect or what to, but she had wanted it, you know? And so to feel that, like, euphoria through her, for her, does that make sense?
Yeah.
And if we're talking just a span of the daytime, I know part of me would like to be her. I think maybe the day we went wedding dress shopping, to be her instead of me. Like, she just looked like a princess. I want to know what she felt like when she put that dress
I love
on.
that. But Kira, back up just a minute. Like, you were giving appropriate props to Lou for following her dream and doing what she wanted. But the fact that you had never been to Disney, you had no idea what to expect. Sight unseen.
But it wasn't like, well, what I mean by that, thank you, and it was an accomplishment, but it wasn't a dream because I didn't know anything about it. I saw a flyer and went, okay, and went and interviewed. It's not like I sat there and went, one day I'm going to be on the Disney College program. She did. It's not like I went, one day I'm going to work full time for Disney and I'm going to do whatever it takes to get there. She did. I didn't do that.
But you do. You set your sights on something and you make it come to fruition. You went back, I mean, you were a career switcher. You went back to school.
That's the other something.
I mean,
well, I appreciate that, but we all know the reason why I went into teaching. And it wasn't to change the world. It was to have the same schedule as my kids.
I know, that's admirable. But
it worked out great. A
lot of people couldn't do that. You know?
Anyway.
But anyway, so just give yourself I'm just giving you
okay,
props.
well, thank you. I will take those props and say thank you very much.
Yes, you deserve them.
I appreciate it.
All right. Wait, is it your turn to ask a question?
I have one more frivolous question.
Okay.
Ooh, I love a frivolous question.
Okay, so my question is, Anna got her door taken away as a punishment.
Oh.
What was the most unique punishment you ever got?
Oh, that we ever got?
Yeah, or you could say, like, you gave one of us.
Oh, well, then I want y'all to answer the same question.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mom and I would have the exact same answer for punishment she gave me.
No, but what punishment, unique punishment, were you given as a child? Like something creative that one of your...
No, I know yours, Mom.
Go good, tell me.
Watching paint dry.
Oh my God. Okay, so excuse me, Lord. No, I was, you guys, this story, Jamieson, I can't believe I've never told you this. So I was a goody when I was in school, right? And part of it is because I knew that my dad was going to have severe punishment if I did something wrong. So one day I'm in choir practice and, like, you know, just like music class in elementary school. And the teacher had said no talking. And the girl beside me started to talk to me, and I went, we're not allowed to talk. And I shushed her and told her the rule was we weren't allowed to talk, and I got busted. And they wrote a note home.
Oh my God.
Well, I explained this to my mom, you know, what had happened, and she was like, oh, well, I'll just sign it. Your dad doesn't need to know. Gosh. But my grandmother was sitting there, and she was like, a lying of omission is still a lie. You need to tell your father.
Was that Eileen?
It was Eileen.
What? Come on.
And I told my dad, and my punishment was that he was painting the hallway, and I had to, on the weekend, I had to sit in a chair, and as he painted the hallway, I had to move back while he painted the hallway, and I had to learn my times tables. So I would sit there all week and go, 1 times 1 is 1, 1 times 2 is 2, all the way up to 12 times 12.
Gosh.
That's why you're so good about
That was a unique punishment.
That is a unique punishment. Punishment that I got that was probably, maybe not unique, but it was writing lines. Like if I did, but my dad wouldn't make me just say, like, you know, I will not yell at my sister. It was always like, I will conduct myself in a ladylike fashion. I will not, like, it was a paragraph, and I'd have to write it. Like, one time it was. That's how it started. I will conduct myself in a ladylike fashion. I will not, and I can't remember the rest of it, but it was like 3 sentences, and I had to write it like 50 times. Well, that, you would have thought I was being waterboarded because I literally...
Not that we're laughing at waterboarding.
We're not making fun of that. But
oh my gosh, Lisa.
You would have literally, that was the most painful punishment. And he knew that would get me, because if I was of the era where you could get a spanking, and I would just stare at him like, go ahead, spank me. But that would get me more than anything else. So, writing lines.
Mm-hmm. All right, so what do you guys remember as being your most...
I can't think of one. Jamie, you go first.
I know Jamieson has one.
I don't know how old I was. I kind of think I was in middle school. Like, I wasn't young.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
My brother Jake and I were fighting a bunch, like just bickering over and over. And Mom made me move into his room because we loved each other so much we couldn't stop picking on each other.
Well, and they kept like physically like pushing and nudging and just like she'd go up to him.
I had to pack a bag,
move out,
close my room. Like, we couldn't go in my room. Like, I needed clothes and bags, so I couldn't go back in there.
How long?
Like a couple days.
Yeah.
How old were you?
I was like Jake was in high school. Like, it was probably traumatizing.
No.
I was on the floor next to his bed. Like, I know.
We moved the mattress in there and everything. Mm-hmm. She had to sleep on the floor.
That is genius.
I was like,
I mean, I was maybe like 6th or 7th grade, so he would have been like 15 or 16.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that is brilliant.
Another one.
Kudos to you, Missy.
That I doled out. I was like, where did that come from? Was it was Jake again, Jamieson's oldest brother, and I said, what are your 5 favorite things in the whole wide world? And he listed, like playing video games or time with my friends or riding my bike, and he listed all these things. I was like, okay, you've just lost privilege to blah 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 blah. Like, I wanted to know what would impact him, so I wanted to know what mattered to him the most.
Wait. I need to know, did he already know he was in trouble, or did you wait?
No.
Oh, Lisa.
He didn't know. He just was like, okay. Favorite things are blah, blah, blah. And
well, guess what I found
word vomited all these favorite things, and those were the 5 favorite things I took away from him. Because I was like, I wanted him to feel the pain of... I don't even know what he had done now, but...
I love it. Golly day. That is some good stuff right there.
I don't even know. That's
What'd you
sick
say,
and twisted.
That's savage.
That's savage.
Mm-hmm.
Can you remember giving me any kind of punishment?
I know this.
You were an angel.
She was an angel.
The only thing I could think of is when you threw me in the shower, but I wasn't even in trouble. That was
that sounds harsh.
No, you gotta explain that.
Oh, that sounded terrible. It's really not. It's really not. There was one time where we found out we were moving to a different town, and I was like hysterical, and because I couldn't stop crying, she threw me in the shower. Not aggressively.
I was worried because
she placed me in the shower.
I couldn't get her to stop, and she was hyperventilating, and I was like, I needed to shock it out of her.
Oh,
it worked. Oh, I love this question. Aunt Lisa came up with this. It's my favorite question. What do you think would surprise us most about being you?
That is such a good question.
Such a good question.
What would surprise us most
like,
about
would we be like, what?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. Hold on,
anything you've done or experienced that I would be like, what? That I don't already know.
I know, maybe the
that's
answer
why
is...
I'm like, I can't, like, I don't feel like there's anything.
Like, when she looks down, she's like, you got, like, your belly button pierced.
Yes, right.
What in the world?
Yes. Is there anything that we would find very shocking if we were in your shoes
or just be like, what?
I don't know.
I really don't
think
know.
of something.
I'm trying to think of something that's not like an actual like event that would be shocking, but more so just like something I do. I don't know.
Like if you have like a naughty craving where you're like, I always eat this, but I don't tell anyone I eat this because it's, you know what I mean?
Naughty craving.
I know. That sounds really interesting. Yeah.
Well, you know what I mean. Like if there's something that you're like, just don't tell anybody because they're...
I mean, this isn't that crazy because you've known I've done that before, but like remember, like I would in college like go to the tanning bed and be like, oh, I don't know why I'm just tan. But like you actually knew I was doing that.
Oh.
That's not that crazy. But like when like we would go like when it was like spring break was in a month, like I would buy like a month membership and like go to the tanning bed like 3 times a week. But like...
I know, yeah.
But she already knew that. So,
but I think sometimes I would look dark and she'd be like, oh, did you go tanning? I'd be like, no.
Because she knew I would give her a hard time because I worry about her skin.
Yeah. Oh, that makes sense.
No, it does. I'm like,
Like you could be a
but
little
that's not that
speed
crazy.
demon and I would never know.
I mean, yeah, I do like. I do have road rage. Like, that's the
I
best
can't
can
believe
think
that.
of.
Can you imagine?
Hilarious. I just literally.
I think also sometimes just conversations with friends, like you'd be like, why are y'all talking about that? Not even things I would say, but just the things my friends talk about.
Okay.
You know?
That's a good
especially,
answer.
I'm just thinking of my college friends, you know, like they went through crazy stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Uh-huh.
Like, remember that one time we were on FaceTime and I was sitting in the living room early with Finley and someone walked by and I'm like, oh, hi. And you're like, who are you saying hi to? And I'm like, I have no idea.
some guy that just left.
Like one of your roommates.
I'm like, see ya. Sitting there with Finley, drinking my coffee, FaceTiming my mom.
And someone
But like,
was
just
saying
like,
the
but
word
like
of
that, if
shame.
that's like one little instance you saw, like just the conversations we've had. You
That's
know?
hysterical.
Yeah.
That makes
Some of the
sense.
crazy things our friends have done that we've been the mom friends.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
We just listen
Send me your
to.
location with this random man you're about to meet up with.
Uh-huh.
Or Jameson having to go bail a friend out of
Did
jail.
you?
Oh yeah, I did. I picked my friend up from jail.
She got called early in the morning. Jameson was the only one.
Oh, I was the only one up.
Because
I
of
was
Finley.
so ready. I was like, I'm on my way.
Finley's her dog, by the way.
I won't say who, but one time I had to go to the emergency room to pick up someone, two people who got so high they thought they like were dying. I think you know who I'm talking about. Yeah.
Oh,
I'll
wow.
tell you later,
Okay.
but
Oh, that is hilarious.
I love it.
Okay, you said you're out of questions.
that was all of our questions, right, Jamie?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so we want to know if they were making a movie, Freaky Friday, about the two of us, who would play you and who would play me?
That's
So good. Oh my god, I'm not good at this kind of thing though. You guys know I don't know people.
Guys, yesterday, I'll let y'all talk. I'll let y'all think while I talk. So yesterday we were playing headbands. We had such a good
heads
time.
up.
We have had the best time on this vacation. The house that we're at has this, it's a island. Tufusky is an island, so it has a beach, but it also has this beautiful pool and everything. And in the afternoon yesterday, it was kind of like stormy or whatever, like on and off. We thought it was going to rain, so we ended up playing headbands. We had the best time. But it was, you know, do the accent one. That didn't go so well for Kira.
No, but it was.
Which is
Gave us
crazy
some-
because you're pretty good at accents.
It was ridiculous.
She was confused between.
Do you like the pizza?
I was doing, do you like it a pizza? But it was supposed to be New York, and I couldn't get there.
And what?
my
Italian.
problem was.
Italian.
Italy?
And I'm just like looking so confused at the screen.
Why we couldn't get
Why
it?
is she saying that?
Oh my
But we
gosh.
played the one where you have to know the people, famous people or whatever, and
Oh,
the two youngers were going skip, skip.
I feel like it was really just me. I'm like, nah, skip.
Yeah, it wasn't. And then we got wise to that. We started skipping stuff too.
Yeah, we never said that we couldn't skip.
You're right. You're
It
right.
was
In
good.
the original game, you have to give the other team
If you've
points.
never had the chance to go away for like a girls, I'm sure anybody listening to this has had girls' weekends, but we've eaten well, we've
So good.
laughed, we've relaxed. It's just easy.
We introduced Jamieson to Yaya Sisterhood. She hadn't seen
Yes.
So good.
it yet. Mm-hmm. Just downtime. You know what I mean?
All right, so who would play Luke?
Who do we got? Do you guys got an answer?
I do.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I do. You're gonna be Leah Remini, or Leah Remini would play you.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, okay.
Obviously.
That's good.
And then for me, I kind of had a hard time for me, but I feel like I would want the girl that plays Claire Bear on The Bear. The girl from Life of the Party.
I would say Emma
love
Stone for
her.
Emma Stone
what
for
a
you.
compliment.
Yes, I would guess
That's
that.
good.
I
I
don't.
love that.
I have not. Shout out to the Bear. I haven't seen that yet, but I've just
So, if you haven't seen The Bear, which is an absolutely fantastic, phenomenal television show, the girl that plays Claire is actually the daughter from Life of the Party with Melissa McCarthy, which we've done on the show. And she is darling. I love that answer.
She's just like girl next door vibes, and I feel like that's kind of.
Can Melissa McCarthy play me?
If you want,
Yes.
sure.
Okay.
So we just have them.
That would be good, Kira.
Well, Elena, maybe that's why I love Life of the Party so much, because
You feel
she
like that's
really
us.
is playing her, like being her daughter.
Yeah.
The girl that plays Claire, her name is Molly Gordon.
Okay.
That's her name. Yeah.
But yeah, that's why I love that movie so much. So
Yeah.
yeah, okay, that's who I want.
That's
Melissa-
good.
That's who you would pick.
Elaine,
That's who I pick. I answer my own question. Sorry.
All right,
Sorry,
James.
James.
Well, I would say, Anne Hathaway for mom.
Wow.
I feel like they look alike. I don't know.
Oh. Well.
I would have said Sandra Bullock.
I
I think your
would've
mom
said
looks
Oh,
like
I
Sandra
always
Bullock.
forget. Oh, that's true.
That's what I would've said.
Okay.
That's who Annie Jane
That might be a
always
good
said.
one.
I-
A lot of
I
people
always
say
thought
that.
that.
True.
You?
Yeah.
About me? You?
I feel like
Me?
Sandra
I
Bullock.
think when I
Yes.
was a little girl, before
Okay, yeah,
I
I'll
knew
go with that.
celebrities, I would see her in movies and be like, that looks like Aunt Lisa.
Oh, wow.
Sandra Bullock.
Wow, that's a compliment.
It was
Wow.
a big compliment.
Sorry, Sandra Bullock. It's probably not a compliment.
Sorry,
for you.
Sandra. No, okay, yeah, we'll go with that. But I really can't think of anyone for me. I'm just trying to. I feel like everyone I think of is like not too old, but
Amanda
Like
Seyfried.
Margot
I
Robbie.
would Sydney Sweeney for you.
that's a compliment.
Who's that, Sugar?
Sydney Sweeney. She's like a.
I'll show you. She's from Euphoria.
She's from Euphoria. Was in that
New
cute
Romance.
rom-com. What was it called? Anyone But You, with Glenn Powell.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
so
that's
cute.
nice. Yeah, she's precious.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
That's nice.
All right,
She's
that's
got big
good.
old boobies. She's
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh, she's
We don't
fat,
relate
she's
on that
fat. She's fat. Yeah, exactly.
Amanda Seyfried, maybe? No, I don't know.
Oh,
that's a
she's
good one
cute.
too.
her.
She is
That would be
cute.
so
That would be a good one.
Okay.
That's what popped in my head.
Okay, that's good. We'll stick with that.
So it makes me think, is there a mother-daughter relationship that you've seen on TV or in movies where you go,
We're going rogue now.
that, yeah, we're going rogue, that, oh, that looks more like us.
Yeah.
Mm.
You know, because
I don't know. Do you, Kira? Do you have an answer to that?
well, you know, people would say Gilmore Girls to the
But if
two
you
of us,
look at it deeper, yeah.
but when you watch it more than one season, we're like, oh my God, I hope that we're not
Yeah,
that
it's like more
self-centered
just,
and
yeah.
you know,
Interesting.
once you get to the end of the series, you'll be like, oh, you know, they're not the best
No,
people.
but not in the deeper side of it, but just on surface level, I do think they act, it reminds me of us.
Yeah, surface level.
And then I would say like the party.
Yes.
Reminds me of us.
Love it so much.
That's so funny.
Have you ever seen that, Jamie?
Probably not.
Oh my gosh. So Melissa
I don't know, what's it-
McCarthy goes back
Oh,
to
you.
school.
I think I listened. Did you guys do it?
Yeah, we
Yes.
did.
Okay, because I listened to it and I like feel like I know what the movie is, but I don't think I've actually seen it
Who would you say? I can't think of a mother-daughter relationship in a movie
or show.
or a show.
I'm trying to think. You know, I don't watch things. I haven't
You know
watched-
what? I think,
Oh,
What do you
God,
think?
what?
Oh gosh, please.
I think you're Kristen Bell and her mom and Bad Moms.
Okay, maybe.
I thought the house next door.
1000% get pajamas with Jameson's
I would,
face on it.
At
Come
least
on.
you didn't say. At least you didn't say the Goldbergs, Bev Goldberg. And
You
her
know,
daughter.
that's mom.
I know.
That's you with the boys, though. That's like
It
your-
is.
it
Like,
is with the boys.
don't mind me. I'm just going to stand here and watch you breathe. It's so true.
No,
That is so funny. She's like,
Bad
no,
moms.
but when she's sitting in the room and he,
No.
and she goes, "Tew," and they're like,
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
so glad you guys are still getting it off.
Lisa wouldn't do that. But she's close.
She would buy the house next
She's
door.
I would
close.
buy-
She would totally.
Oh, I would so buy the house.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh
I
my
mean,
gosh, are you kidding me?
She'd live in the carriage house.
I would. I'd be like,
Yeah.
don't even buy the house. Do you have a guest house? Can we just build on your property?
I can live in the garage. I don't need
Yeah.
the dressing accommodations. Don't worry about it. Don't
Too
worry about
funny.
it. Anything else, my darlings?
I have nothing left.
Me either.
I love
We
it.
had some good
Thanks
answers.
for hosting us.
Thank
Thank you for joining.
I
Guys,
know.
we love you. Love you more than our luggage.
Love you more than my luggage. Shout out, still make
Love you
noise.
so much. All right.
Girls' Night In.